Oh, fudge.
Alright. Alright, here we go, guys. Alright. Oh shit, I gotta work the kicks out. Ah. Yo, how long has it been since the last season, bro? It's been like 3 weeks now?
Yeah, kinda like that.
About fucking time, bro. VPGA Season 5. It's fucking lit, right, Ben?
Oh yeah, we back.
Oh my god, man, it feels like forever, dude. Shit. And for once, we're actually in territory that we're comfortable in, because tonight's episode is the Elite Midfielder podcast. Tonight I have the pleasure of having my boy Pierre, Devin, and my other boy, The Ditch, pulling up here to, you know, get their insight, ask them a few questions, really get the lowdown on what it's like to be a midfielder, doing it in pro clubs every night, producing. Guys, how y'all doing tonight?
What's up, what's up?
What's up?
Doing good, man.
If y'all could go ahead and take a chance to introduce yourselves formally to everybody in the community real quick.
I'll go last.
I'm Pierre, Messiah 1, manager of PSG. What's up?
Yeah, I'm Devin, aka Hexables. I play CDM mostly for Leicester City.
And I'm Kyle, I'm the Ditch 21. First year in the league, I'm playing with New England for MLS. And I just signed with Bournemouth for Elite.
Ooh,
Nice.
hot fresh, hot
Nice.
fresh. Real quick, guys, how long have y'all been playing pro clubs?
Damn, I've been playing pro clubs for like about 4 to 5 years. 2012, I believe. I always used to like the Be a Pro system, so it was only natural. So yeah.
Yeah, same for me. I remember like back on like the PS3 days when you like slap a Bluetooth microphone on like a dad look, and we were all trying to talk to each other with no party chat and all that stuff. So it was a different game back then.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a little ugly back in the day when everyone's bouncing around in the drop-ins for sure.
I still remember that, actually. I remember when I first stumbled upon it, I really didn't know what it was, because it wasn't even my system at the time. I just kind of like hopped into it, and I was like, okay, so I'm playing as one person. And then I just recently got my system, and I'm like, oh shit, they've got websites. Like, this shit's blown up. And I realized that I play it so much more than just, you know, playing any other format within the game. I actually enjoy it a lot more. Would you guys say that you spend more of your time on pro clubs when you play FIFA?
Bro,
Oh my
I don't
God,
play
yeah.
Any other? I don't play any other thing than pro clubs, bro. To be honest.
Yeah, man, I'm at the point now where like I like pro clubs so much more than everything else on FIFA that like if I like hop on early, like I'm out in the West Coast in the U.S., so a lot of times my guys aren't on in the morning. Do I'll be like playing, you know, just another game if my guys aren't on.
It's addictive. It's addictive.
I'm telling you. What positions did you guys all start playing? Are they still similar to what you're playing now?
Actually, I started playing on the left wing because in real life I used to play professional football. So, you know, it's only natural to mimic what it is you do in real life. But then the cam position was more of a, how to put it, to create. And you also got the chance to score as opposed to always being on the left, having to cross the ball and choosing your right time to come in. So the cam was more central. So from the left wing I started, but transferred to the cam position. So yeah.
Yeah, I started out on the wing as well, and then ended up with a club that was in a pinch and needed someone to play center back, and so I tried it out. Found out I was a lot better at that than I was playing out on the wing, and so found a happy middle with playing CDM. So now I rotate between those two.
Yeah, a little different for me. I'm kind of in the same boat as Messiah, except I wasn't a pro ball player. I just played college ball. I played center mid my whole life, so it kind of just transfers right into the game. You know how to play it already, so why not move?
The movement off the ball, everything comes natural. So yeah, I
Just
feel you.
yeah, and just the IQ in general. Like you already know what you're doing. It's just
Exactly.
transferring it to FIFA.
Exactly.
That's probably the most important thing when you actually get into this game is that I see that a lot of people tend to just want to be cams and stuff, but the problem is you can't just walk into this game and expect to take up any position and immediately gel with it. What I've realized is in my experience was I always played on the left, but when I started playing the game, I was like, okay, well, I just want to play cam or striker. And now that I'm realizing it, in my mind, I'm better off playing like as a left mid because I'm already used to how I should be reacting in real life based on my own, you know, experience. And one thing that I'd like to get your input on is if you've played actual soccer in real life and you already have like a designated position, would you recommend players to play in those positions or venture out?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Because
If you venture out, you try to do too much. You think of all you overthink everything. Like Messiah said, it comes so natural when you're playing your natural position.
like for instance,
I mean, yeah, go
I
ahead.
don't use the L1 button. Like where persons use the L1 button to know where to be, for the computer to actually put you in the position that you're supposed to be. No, I don't use that because having the knowledge of playing the real position, you already anticipate how things are going to swing. So you know
You should
where
already
to
be
come to
moving
the
where
right.
you need to be at, right?
Exactly. But I know a lot of players still use the L1 to position themselves. So, you know.
I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't know the L1 button existed until VPG. I never even heard of it until now. So
I'm gonna flip it. I'm on the other side. I play goalkeeper in real life, and if you guys saw me play goalkeeper on FIFA, we'd be last on the table no matter what every season.
But in your experience, though,
I try to take what I like use as a goalkeeper though, especially if I'm playing like when I do play in defense. Like when I'm a goalkeeper, I'm very very vocal, like trying to encourage the team, trying to help them out.
Quarterback of the defense, bro.
Try to take that same stuff if I'm playing CB or CDM, because oftentimes I'm just kind of hanging out towards the back and letting the attack do their thing.
I feel like the knowledge of like real soccer helps you and gives you that advantage that you need in this game. And I think Benji and I would both agree that in this game, Ben, would you agree that midfielder is probably the hardest position to play?
For sure, because everybody, when they get the ball, they want to do, you know, moves. They want to look good. They want to be stars. And midfielders, you see that all the time. They just want to hold on to the ball and try to get a nice pass. But you got to be the most unselfish player on the team if you want to be a midfielder. You got to make everyone else look good, not just yourself. You got to be able to, you know, hit whoever's open, even if you want to score or whatever. And not a lot of people like to do that. Everybody likes to be selfish, keep the ball, do some dribbles.
Be the star.
Be the star. And when you're a mid, you got to be unselfish.
You can't do it in the middle. There's no time for it. You don't have time in the middle of the field to do any of that.
That's what I was gonna point out.
I don't take my finger off the X button. Never.
Yeah.
All you're doing is smashing X and quick passing all over the field.
You remember the midfield is where most of the ball is being played. It's a heavily saturated area of the field. So you gotta see passes before the ball even come to you. Like I play one-touch football. So from the time it comes to me, I play X passes. I bounce the ball a lot. So I'm always looking at, if it is the ball come to me here, I'm looking like where I can pass to the left, where I can pass to the right.
Before you even get the ball, you should already looking where to pass. A lot of people don't do that. They don't even know how to do that.
Exactly.
But it's not only the cam spot, which, you know, in all due respect, Messiah, I know firsthand that position's hard, but the center defensive mid spot, and I know Hex can agree with me on this, is so freaking stressful because not only are you trying to, you know, supply the offense, but you've got to sacrifice yourself to get back. You got to sacrifice yourself to get that initial ball and get it wide, you know. And I don't know if you guys have ever played CDM, but for me, in my experience, bro, that was it was harder for me to adjust to CDM than it was to adjust to like left or right mid.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, I mean, what I deal with like at CDM is like I know the opposite when I'm playing CB. If I'm playing CDM, if I let a guy step by me and he's a cam or one of their CDMs, I know that
your CDM screwed.
I put my CB in a terrible position.
You're kind of back.
Step up and maybe get burned, or he's gonna stay back and let him shoot. Either way, it's not good.
That's for sure the hardest position in this game, CDM, because you have a little more freedom than a center back would, and you don't have to sit as far back. But at the same time, if you're not right in front of your center backs, taking that first man through, they're screwed because that guy's already on a full sprint past everybody.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, man, and it's so hard in this league. From what I've seen, bro, that's the hardest position to find. And I think in this, if you look at the top teams, they probably have the only CDMs that are actually playing CDM the way that you should be. Because sometimes you see these guys at the top of the box on a breakaway when they should be at least 15, 20 yards, you know, waiting for the counter or maybe a, you know, an outlet. You know what I mean?
The CDM needs to be a person that reads the game. He shouldn't be reactive. He should always be proactive so that he can intercept instead of trying to tackle. It is.
You still have the midfield responsibilities of quick passes, being that first person in the middle who's open, switching the field. But then you have the defensive responsibilities. So you're just like, you're always thinking, you're always on the move, you're always what's next pass, what's next move, what's this, what's that.
Not only are you a holding player for the offense, but you're a stopper for the defense.
Exactly.
It's like you're playing two different roles. But I don't take anything away from Cam, and Benja can probably say this better than I could, but I was playing Cam when I met Benja, and then I realized that he was better than me because he had an instinct, whereas in that final third, as a Cam, you really don't have a lot of time to at least decide on two options. What you got to do is really decide on how you're going to make that final pass to your clearest option. Can you guys agree to that?
Exactly.
Yeah. You gotta have the vision.
Me, when I started playing Cam, I'm a pass first guy. I'd rather get a nice assist than a goal. So it came natural to me, but when it gets hard is, like you said, that final third. When you don't have any other option, that's when I shoot, because I rather look for every pass first, and then if I don't have anything, then I'll shoot or I'll go back. And a lot of people, you know, they just panic and they get the ball taken away, and that's what you need to work at.
That's not the Cam's role, though. That's what everyone gets mistaken with. You're not there to score goals. You're there to help out you're the support system for the strikers, and people tend to forget that when they're playing Cam.
Right.
You're the triangle.
You get the Cam who, the second they pass to the striker, they're like running 3 yards past them already, trying to get in front of the striker. You know, like they're just looking for that 1-2 only.
And they're allowed to do that, but the issue is the timing.
It can't be every play, though, right?
No, it's selective.
It can't.
You have to select it.
I mean, I think that separates like the good Cams, and I'd even throw CDMs in there too, is knowing when it's your time to go up forward. Because like, especially when I see a team playing in a 4-2-3-1, like if you have that CDM that knows that moment that they're supposed to join the attack or make a back post run, like that's a skill that's invaluable.
Oh, that's more valuable than anything, though, man.
There are different ways to play a Cam. A Cam needs to be able to adjust to how the team plays. Because, for instance, when it is I was playing in AC Milan, we relied heavily on the Cam, which was me, and there were times I used to have to shoot from really far, where I've perfected the 40-yard shot, right? But now the team that I'm building now, we have a lot of capable strikers, so I'm now the third piece to the triangle every time. So I'm always the bounce back pass, so that I can slip them in. So it's a different rule, it's different functions, it's according to what the team needs you to be. Some teams need a more passing Cam, some teams need a more direct passing Cam, and some teams need the layoff ball to the Cam so that he can shoot. So it's according to what it is the team needs, I guess. From my perspective.
Messiah, do you see yourself shooting more this season, or do you think you're probably gonna be, I guess, creating more?
I actually see myself creating more. Although there are some keepers that I've seen that are a bit shaky that I'm gonna have to test.
I actually had the opportunity to play with Messiah, just on bad terms though, because I had no idea who Messiah was, and I was on Spurs last season. He walks into the club. We're like, I'm immediately playing these first few games with this guy. Like, man, this guy was really what we're missing. But we got so unlucky to the point where, like, have you ever been in a team where like there's a good player there, but he just doesn't fit?
Yep.
Like he just like it just he's not gonna be able to play the way. And the bad part was that Spurs wasn't bad. We were bad at passing. And the thing is, Messiah was so good at passing, he was already in good positions, but we were so busy forcing the ball and counterattacking, and it sucked because he wasn't really he didn't really participate, and he noticed that, and he literally just said, you know what, I've realized that maybe I didn't make the right decision coming here. Yeah, a proper fit. And what I'm trying to say is when you found your teams, did you build, or well, for Messiah, when you built that team, did you build it around your capabilities, or did you build it around the people that you were bringing in?
The thing about it is, this is the second time I'm managing in VPG. The first time I managed was in season 2 with AC Milan, and I always build a team because I love to play the tiki-taka brand. So I get players that are selfless, and I get players I get players that are selfless.
Messiah.
My wing, yeah.
Next season, bro, hit me up. I like the way you're talking already. I like it. I'm a very direct manager. Like, I don't like, my thing about it, there are designated areas to do skill moves, right? When it is you're in the center of the field, we don't dribble, we pass the ball. Reason being, when you lose the ball in the midfield, it's easy for a talented side with good strikers to counter you. 2 balls and they're in behind your defense. So therefore I give the wingers the ability to dribble, because I mean, if we have to cross the ball or play it back to the cam, they must be able to do that. But other than that, bro, it's all about passing. That's how I build my side. And each player has to complement. You gotta want to pass. You gotta want the ball. You have to want to give out the ball.
Like, I hate to see players running away from the ball. You know? So
you should definitely be visible.
Yeah, it's all about passing for me. So that's how I build my side, based on who could pass.
Oh, true,
What's
true. Because I really don't know much about Leicester, and this is kind of why I really wanted you here.
Yeah.
Sort of what I'm asking Messiah right now. When you found that team, were you already a piece of the puzzle? Were you like trialing with them and like it just was a good fit? Explain a little bit.
I was already a piece to a degree. I had played on a club. It was called FC Sunnyvale for like over a year before I jumped into VPGA last season. And so it was a few guys from that old club. So it was like myself, one of our CDMs, our left mid, our right back. So it was guys I already knew. So I'm either playing right behind a CDM I've played with a ton, or playing right next to him. So it kind of was a natural fit already. And then with the rest of the guys, I mean, it was a solid fit for me as a player, and then for the team as a whole.
Chemistry was
so you guys basically walked in with a core, basically, right?
Yeah, we walked in with about 5-6 guys who've been playing together for a while. But our manager, Canada, was someone that I don't think the rest of us really knew that well.
Kyle, based on your experience, and this is why I have Kyle here, because Kyle's actually a noob or rookie. You know,
chill with the noob.
I'm just fucking with you. Give us a little bit about your experience trialing, getting into the league, and how you came to the decision of joining Bournemouth.
It's tough, man. The good thing about VPG is they hook you up. They let you know the Facebook pages for different leagues. You can post on the pages, but you post on the pages and sometimes you don't get any feedback, and you're like, oh damn, like I'm not gonna get a team. I'm gonna be sitting here. I'm screwed. But I was hitting every single post I saw. I was hitting everybody up. Everton, Madrid, Bournemouth, like everyone. I was talking to everybody, just trying to get on a team. I'm just trying to play some games.
Grinding.
And at the same, I was like 2 days ago, I was trialing for Everton and Madrid back and forth, and they were both, they both gave me the opportunity to trial, and I was really appreciative of that. And then Everton sort of picked their squad already, so I moved on to Madrid and kept playing with them. And then I moved on to Bournemouth, and he gave me the opportunity. Joker gave me the opportunity to trial, and that's at the time I decided maybe Madrid's not the best fit for me. I'm going to move on to Bournemouth. And now talking to Joker, we're trying to build the team up right now, and he asked me to kind of help him out a little bit with recruiting and trying to stock his team up and finish top flight. But it's a little intimidating playing in this league when it's your first time in. It's fast. Like if you don't know any better, oh my lord.
Oh, definitely,
Dude, I got
definitely.
thrown for a loop last season, man, because I played with
Yeah.
VPJ Sao Paulo last season. We're playing around like we're just like in D2, D1, just like playing matches, stuff I've been used to for years. And then they're like, all right, we got our first friendly. I was like, oh, cool, like this will be fun to jump in, see what other teams are like. And we got walked all over because I played terribly.
Yeah, if you're not prepared for it, it's crazy. I'm just glad my play style, like that, the quick passes, pass to the open guy, make the right pass, kind of that play style, it fits in perfect with this league because everyone's just getting rid of the ball as quick as possible. There's no time to hold on to the ball or do anything with the ball in the center of the field.
I'm actually glad you guys are bringing this up because that was my next question. If you had one word to classify your playing style as, what would it be?
Mine's simple.
Tiki taka. That's me.
2 words.
All the way.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll take it.
Hyphenated.
Yeah, mine's just simple. I try to play the simple ball as much as possible. That's
like
how the
that
real
word you
games.
use, bro.
That's how the real game.
Of when I play, it's no more than 10 yards to the guy that's closest to me, so long as they're open. So it's all about tackling.
Yeah, but everybody needs a yard dog.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you need it.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, for real. For real.
My experience, because this is now like 2 seasons running, and me and Benja have always spoken about this. It's okay to find talented players and try and bring them together, but I think in this scene and what this league actually kind of forces you to do is find role players. And I feel like for me, if you can find 2 role players in each line of the field, guys that just, like what Messiah said, selfless, and just do what they're supposed to do, I think that's more valuable than having a star center back and a star striker and then the Cam that can do like every skill move in the book. Would you guys
Bro,
agree?
as you said that, I hate playing with big names, to be honest. I don't play with big names. Reason being is egos get into the way. Now, I know a lot of great players with the big names, right? I commend them for being so good in FIFA, but when you get a player that plays basic and is coachable, he becomes part of a team. And now you don't have isolation of talents, but you have a collectiveness of a team. So it's
Exactly.
more rewarding when you find no-name players, quote unquote, and you build them, and then they become big players. Like for instance, Hennessy Boys, who is one of the most sought-after keepers. I
This
introduced
season,
him to Pro
definitely.
Club. I introduced him to pro clubs, and he was nobody then, but now he's somebody now, right? So my
Yeah,
thing about
definitely.
it is, I really appreciate playing with players with the no names because now you can have a playing style, and everybody is unified with the playing style as opposed to one rogue player trying to do what he wants. So that's my take on recruiting and the quest with regards to the question that you asked.
Dude, that's one thing that's fun about like us, because like with Leicester, we're almost all of this is our first year in the league, and so like if you were like watching me when I'm streaming on Twitch or Guda when he's streaming on YouTube, like the second someone scores, you'll hear everyone yelling at each other, "Nice shot, nice goal," like nice pass. Like you'll always hear the guy who scored thanking the guy who assisted. You always hear the guy who assisted say it was a great shot. Like those are the things you hear.
There's no bad vibes.
Yeah, always good vibes.
You guys, Lester actually just signed my boy who signed up with me. He's a first-time player. That the left back you guys just picked up is my boy from real life, actually. The kid Sheldon Fogel, yeah. And he's utility, left wing, right back, left back, and he's a solid player. And he loves playing for you guys already. And he's only played, I mean, just this week he just signed for you guys. So and he hasn't stopped talking about it quite frequently, or I mean,
That's
quite
awesome.
frankly.
That's awesome,
my
bro.
advice
So you guys
is
got a
keep
tight group
keep
over
that,
there.
Yeah, keep that vibe you got there, bro. Keep that, because
Yeah,
That's gonna be
this
more
league
valuable than
gets
anything.
to you, bro. Trust me, when this league gets to you, and if you start picking up losses, like
Oh my God.
trust me, it gets
The
frustrating.
animosity,
dude,
the
we went
pressure,
through it
the
We went
stress.
through it last season with Sao Paulo. I mean, the worst part was like, we had a couple good initial weeks, and then we picked up, 2 losses, and then all of a sudden I'm playing any with the 4, with the 4 on the back line, and it's just me.
Oh shit.
So it's
Yeah.
like that's one thing that like we all sat down before the season and said that's not happening. Like every team's gonna lose. Like if a team goes undefeated in this season, it's gonna be insane. So I mean, we all take it before that everyone's gonna take a loss at some point. That doesn't mean we're all quitting.
Yep. Keep that good.
Moving on to other things, actually, and this is something that I've been meaning to ask you guys. How did each one of you find VPGA?
Hockey, NHL.
I got invited by a buddy who was already playing in it. Guy I met through Reddit.
Same with me. I got in through the first Ballon d'Or, Frankie Dins. He had his team.
What?
Yeah, he had his team in season 1, and it was division 1. It was season 1, sorry. And we had a falling out. It's funny. We had a falling out, and I'm the type of person, if I fall out with you, I'm not gonna have any animosity to you. I would leave your side and I would create something better. And I did it. and that's how I got into VPGA, off of me trying to prove that, yo, I can do the same thing too. And now, I mean, he's back, so it's all good with that.
Is this season going to be another one of those? Returning to prove a point? Is that what this season is to you?
Actually,
yeah, I'm starting to get that vibe, bro. I don't know, Benjamin, would you agree?
A little bit.
It seems like it, bro.
I'm just a high competitor with anything I do. You know, I strive for perfection as much as possible, and I always try to, with regards to FIFA, I always try to bring my best. So it's always about proving something, but the bottom line is about having fun and making sure you can vibe with your team. But I mean, it's a competition, and it's a highly competitive competition. I already have rivals, and I mean, I gotta prove shit.
Okay.
Hands down.
All right, so real quick, would you? I'm gonna give you some rapid fire questions, and I want you guys to just a simple yes or no. Skill moves, yes or no?
No.
Yes.
No.
Shot. And when I say skill moves, I'm thinking about not only, you know, the analog stick, but I'm thinking like the shot fakes, the cross fakes. Do you need that in your game?
No.
Yes.
No.
I was gonna say situational, but it's not needed. Especially not in the midfield role, at least.
If I could explain, then I would say yes. I would say no, but if I have to give an answer, I would say yes.
If you guys had to choose between a driven cross or a chip through ball, which would you say is more effective in that scenario?
Ugly.
Driven cross or a true ball? Well, that's two
like a chip
things.
through ball, because I hate seeing it, but sometimes it's really useful.
Personally,
but
I rather play the balls on the ground. Reason
Keep
being,
it on. There's no need for put it in the air.
Dude, I love it on the ground.
The strikers are able to run onto it, and they would have more time to pick their spot. With regards to it being in the air, if you don't get the proper touch on the ball, sometimes it bubbles up and it gives the defender time to react. So I would say true ball all the way on the ground.
And you can't forget the defenders. They're 6'5", 200 pounds too. They're not some small little guys jumping up for the ball with the strikers when you put it in the air.
Right.
The issue with the playing with the center backs is they're gigantic. They're going to win that header 9 times out of 10, especially with the positioning.
What would you say, Dev?
I mean, I'm not big on the chip through balls, but being a guy who plays as either a 6'3" CDM or a 6'5" center back, I welcome it. Play it all day. I'm fine with that.
Nice. Would you say it's harder to defend a cross, like driven, or like one of those like early crosses? Like I don't know if you know the difference between one.
Yeah.
Early
No, I know what
cross
you're
is
talking
hard.
about. The driven cross is tough because it's like you don't actually have time to react. Like with that kind of chipped lofted cross, it's a little early. As long as you're sticking with your man and your goal side, like you're most likely going to get that ball.
Can you anticipate those at all? Because I don't know if Messiah knows. Well, I'm pretty sure Messiah knows this because he's played on the wing, and Kyle, because you know we played together. When I press that early cross, I usually can tell that they're not expecting it. You know what I mean?
The thing with those early crosses is you do it from an awkward position too. Those are the best times to do it. When you're just outside of the 18, towards the end line a little bit more, not down in the corner where everyone's used to crossing, that's when it throws everyone off. At least that's what I think from like a more offensive perspective. I don't know how you feel about it as the center, as a CDM, or more of a CDM slash CB.
Yeah, I mean, those ones when they come from the awkward position, that's when it's unexpected. When you've got a guy who's maybe 10 yards behind the 18 and he's like, he's got chalk on his boots on the right side, like that guy's gonna try to whip it in, and I know that. When we're talking when it's a little bit closer in and you're just more like dinking a quick little cross, like that's tough to defend.
What are you doing in that instance? Are you cocking your triggers? Are you holding L2? Are you letting go of the turbo? What's your initial reaction when you see the cross come in?
I mean, from a defensive perspective, you're mostly trying just to stay between your man and the ball, because when you're playing at that height, like as long as you're on the right side of the guy, you're usually gonna get
win the ball.
Goal side, yeah.
Real rap.
Or in front of him and goal side, which is optimal or ideal.
Yeah, because I mean, when you got like these strikers, very few of them play that large, so it's like most of them aren't gonna be able to push you out of the way either way.
Well, this is probably going to be the hardest question for you three. Where would you say is your favorite spot to shoot from?
Right out of the 18-yard on the arc where the half C is, on the left or the right. The finesse shot. Wow, I've perfected that. So that's the sweet spot, I call it.
That distance is key right there, right outside the 18, especially for cams. I'm more of a guy that comes from the right while you're dribbling left, hit it with the outside of the foot with the right. The goalie's not stopping it, especially if it's a power shot. The finesse ones can be a little, I haven't mastered it like Messiah, but they can be a little iffy in my opinion.
My answer is don't shoot.
No, but heck, say like it's a corner kick and it's lofted out. Do you get closer or do you just take it from where you're at?
Yeah. No, I mean, on a corner kick, I mean, we, like most teams, are going to set up with a man at the front post, man at the back post. You'll usually find me at the back.
Because of your height, right?
Say that again?
Because of your height.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
so you're inside.
Oh yeah, on a corner for sure.
How many goals do you think you're gonna score off a corner kick this season? Give me a rough number.
I'm gonna place it at 10. You guys can take the over or the under.
I'm gonna take the under.
I'll put a timestamp on that one. I'll hit you up at the end of the season.
Oh.
Definitely. We'll figure out the odds here. Well, actually, just to cap off this podcast, I do appreciate you guys. You're actually going to take part in what I like to call the Jigga PK Q&A shootout, which is another quick answer. It's a rapid fire question. It's 5, and Benji's actually going to write your answers down, and we're going to get a census going. We've actually asked close to about 20 players because the pod's still growing, and eventually at the end of whenever we're further down the road, we'll actually have a pie chart and we'll show it all, and you guys will get a chance to see it, everyone in the community. So without further ado, the first question: Nike or Adidas?
Nike all the way.
Nike.
Okay.
The check mark, bro.
What was your answer, Deb?
They're all
Nike.
Nike.
As well.
Nike? All Nike? Oh,
Everyone.
It's all about
Damn.
the check.
Unanimous. Alright, second question, and these aren't all football related. Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar.
I'll go Kendrick. I'm not a fan of either, really.
Alright, Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
I've been a Ronaldo fan since Man U days. I gotta stick to my boy.
Get out of here, bro.
We can debate it.
It's like, no, we don't got time. We don't have time.
What's up? Alright, wait till after the podcast.
That might be the most intelligent rebuttal I've heard to that.
Let's debate it.
No. Moving on. Philly cheesesteak or bacon cheeseburger?
Bro, I'm from Philly. Come on.
Give me that cheeseburger.
You guys have never even had a real cheesesteak. You've never had a real cheesesteak.
No, I don't eat pork, so I would say cheesesteak.
My man.
All right, last one. This is actually, you have 4 options for this one. BPL, Bundesliga, Serie A or La Liga?
La Liga.
Bundesliga.
I'm BPL all the way. It's more. There's just more, not more
Barcelona's my
competition or
favorite side,
not
so.
more competition or talent, but it's just so much more competitive. 2 years ago, Leicester won it. They were 5,000 to 1 odds.
Which nobody saw coming.
Nobody.
This is actually
which is why
our,
it's
this
just
is
more
actually
fun
our
to watch.
newest question. Benja, let me get you on the record right now.
Okay.
What was yours?
I think La Liga.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's where
You know what's funny is that for some reason I prefer the Bundesliga.
There's only 2 teams.
Those Germans.
What do you mean there's only 2 teams? There's so
There's
much
Bayern
more
and
entertaining,
BVB.
bro.
Oh my God, Bayern
No,
wins
but
it
that-
landslide every year.
But those other 18 teams remind me of what the BPL kind of still is, which is like, yeah, you know, there's a certain group of people that are fighting for the top, but everyone's gonna make a game out of every match that they're facing against those.
Yep.
I
And
mean,
I
I
feel
like
like-
the Bundesliga more because it's like they play the way that all the Premier League managers say they want to play. They talk about we want to be dynamic, attacking, fluid. And they get out there and like they just throw elbows at each other. Like in the Bundesliga, they're really trying stuff that's more dynamic.
And they're doing something right because they took a B team to the Confederations and fucking washed everybody.
Yeah, that is wild. Their team's nasty, and their U21 team won too. You can't forget about them. Half of their
Same
Confed
fucking-
team,
yeah.
half of the Confed team could have made the U21 squad, but they got called
Exactly.
up. It's dumb.
All right, well, that actually sounds like a another pod that we can probably hit up later on, which actually isn't BPGA related, but you know we can always make an episode for something else. I appreciate you guys being here tonight. Thank you for being a part of this. I look forward to interviewing each and every one of you when you're with your actual club mates. I'd like to get Messiah in for, you know, a PSG episode. I'd like to get Devin and pull in Matt and all your guys. I actually want to talk to that Musket Balls guy because we've ran into him so many times playing league matches, Benj and I actually like watching him play. I'm tipping him for good things.
I mean, watch me on Twitch or Gouda on YouTube. You'll hear us every time. Like Musket makes a save, and we're just like, that guy is not human.
Yeah, I've been hearing a
Ridiculous,
lot
bro.
about him. He's like he's like 50th in the league in the world or something like that. In the standings.
He's insane, bro.
Yeah,
Actually, give out your Twitch handle again, Dev, and Messiah. If you have a streaming handle, go ahead and hand it out now, so any of our other players in the community who aren't possibly participating in Elite League can actually follow you and watch some of your games.
it's
Twitch. Yeah, you go ahead, Messiah.
It's Messiah1, MASAIA1. That's it.
Do you have any hyphens, or is the hyphen still in it?
No hyphens. MASAIA1. Twitch.
And then for me, it's twitch.tv/hexables. That's HEXABLES.
Kyle, are you for
I don't
sure on
stream.
Bournemouth?
I signed today. Contract signed, bro.
All right, shit, something to look forward to. Ben, go ahead and give out your Twitch handle and YouTube handle just so these guys can see what you got as well.
My Twitch and
looking.
YouTube are both BenjaC92, so you just search that and you'll find me. Yep, simple.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you all that are listening right now. We actually got another episode that we're going to be working on soon. It's the goalkeeper episode featuring Henny and Yeah Buddy Bro. For Benja, for me, for Messiah, for Kyle, and Hex, thank you for being a part of this. And like, comment, subscribe, share.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, man.
And we
It's a
out.
live, homie. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
All right.